Hey, accelerators, a very happy Friday to all of you. I am coming at you live from my tiny bedroom in my tiny house, at my tiny desk. And I wanted to take a little bit of time to chat about an article that was posted in the group by one of our newer members, Suzanne Skaka. Am I saying your name correctly, my dear? Please let me know. She posted an article about energy management and how that beats time management. And I feel very strongly about this, and I have a lot to say. And in no way do I know what I'm talking about necessarily, but I just wanted to spark a little conversation in the group here to get a sense of how everyone else manages their time. If you all kind of find yourselves being pulled in all kinds of directions, I do think social media makes it worse for us to keep up. We're constantly judging ourselves compared to what we see online and what people are up to, and we feel this urgency and this pressure to always be on top of everything and to be everywhere all the time. And so I just wanted to bring up a few things here. In this article, it talks about the 40-hour work week, and it's based off of this 8-hour workday, which is sort of rooted in factory labor, which is more of a manual setting, moving your body around and doing something over and over again, as opposed to using your brain power. And the article also states, and I very much believe this, is that we tend to be truly productive 3 hours a day on average, right? And I certainly find, and I've been trying to pay closer attention to when I work best, when I have the most energy. I find later in the day, actually now is not a great time for me to be going live because my brain sort of tends to go downhill as the day drags on. I work my best and I have the most energy in the morning. And my husband actually makes fun of me because I have a tendency to get up first thing in the morning, grab a cup of coffee, and just dig in, because that really is the best time for me to be doing my thing. I know that brain energy isn't going to stick around forever, and I need to take advantage of it while I have it. So as a business owner too, I think a lot of you in here are business owners, freelancers, trying to do the thing, and we end up splitting our brains into lots of different places, wearing a lot of different hats. And I don't know about you guys, but I certainly tend to I have the family stuff, I have the business stuff, I have business development, and then I also have the client work that we're trying to keep up with. And managing all of those things, in addition to getting dinged on my phone and notifications here, and Slack is telling me this, Facebook is telling me that. I'm not only multitasking, but I'm getting pulled in a lot of different directions. I have a feeling you guys feel the same. So I'm just curious as to if you all are thinking about this, how you manage your own time, if you have tools and tricks that you use that you think would be valuable to other people. How do you stay focused, and do you pay attention to when you're most productive? I also, so for the tips that I have would be to put your schedule on lockdown, right? Like you're the gatekeeper of your schedule. So for instance, I am a hardcore introvert. Well, maybe not hardcore. I'm a mild introvert. I think I'm a little bit of a mix, but by and large, if I have meetings, or if I need to be in front of people, or if I need to have real social interaction, which of course I love, but it also drains me. And so when I have, say, like a workshop, or I need to run a meeting, or I have a client call, I do notice that I get drained. I'm out of gas if I have a couple of those back to back. And so what I try to do is have blocks of time throughout my week that are dedicated to those client calls. there's always exceptions to the rule. Things will come up, but by and large, I try to keep those blocks of time true, right? And I want to make sure that they're happening in a time when my brain is firing on all cylinders, which is usually in the morning. So protect your calendar, right? Like that's the point, is to protect your calendar and to be mindful of when you start to lose that energy. For some of us, it's also writing can be really tough and it can take a lot of brain power. Some people, like Suzanne, for instance, I know that she's a freelance writer. She does a lot of WordPress specific work. I think she loves writing. She's really good at it. For me, it's a real struggle. And it's a practice too, right? Like anything else, it's practice. But whatever those, and some people will call it eating the frog, right? What's the most difficult thing, what you're not looking forward to, right? For me, it's looking at my balance sheet. It's issuing invoices. It's that administrative stuff. I don't dig it. I'm not into it. And I'm either going to block dedicated time off for that. And maybe I'll even give myself like a little treat, like a nice, delicious coffee at the end of that task, or I'll go for a walk, or, whatever that looks like. And to that point, actually, you also need to be thinking about, what is your time worth? Are there particular things that you can't stand to do that you could outsource? And I know that that feels like a really far-fetched solution for many of us, right? You're like, I'm working for myself. I'm just eking by here. I'm trying to make ends meet. But when you think about what your time is truly worth, and when you think about the things you enjoy and you're really good at, it doesn't make sense for you to be doing your own bookkeeping, right? Doesn't make sense for you to be sending out those invoices. In a lot of ways, like that might be sucking so much energy away from you that you then do not have time or the energy for that, the brain power work, the creative work, the whatever the big picture is that's really helping to push things forward. So for me, it's bookkeeping was the first thing that I outsourced, and I'm very happy that I did, because it just sucks the life out of me and it puts me in a shitty mood, and I don't want to do anything after that. So think about what your time is worth. Think about multitasking. And, some people say we aren't even capable of multitasking. I believe we certainly aren't built biologically to multitask, but there's always a lot of things happening at once. So one thing that I have found to be super helpful, and there's some colleagues of mine that use this technique as well, and it's called the Pomodoro method. It's when you take a chunk of time and you physically set a timer. So I think the standard amount of time is, say, 25 minutes, but make it whatever chunk of time you want. Set a timer and just concentrate on the one task for 25 minutes, like laser focused on the one task. So that helps to keep that top of mind. You can focus in, and then once the timer goes off, assess and move on. So just setting aside that, because it's so easy to get distracted and sucked into Facebook and other notifications. I also want to encourage you guys to say no to things more often. The more things you say yes to, you're taking time away from those high quality clients or partnerships or opportunities. If it's not the right fit, and perhaps you need to set some boundaries around that, because that energy is valuable and you only have so much time. So why not do work that's interesting and fun and rewarding, as opposed to doing shitty stuff that isn't very fun, right? So make room for the fun stuff. Make room for that rewarding work. I think that's all I wanted to rant about today. That's really it. I could continue on this conversation, and I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know if you have techniques that you use, if there's productive methods, tools? How do you break up your day? I'm curious about that as well. For me, I really like to punctuate my day with, moving my body a little bit. So I'll crank some stuff out, and then I'll reward myself with a little bit of exercise, shower off, eat, and then get back at it. And that usually gives me the break that I need. Or I'll go outside and I'll talk to my chickens for a while. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Please keep chatting. Let me know if there's anything that you're curious about, you'd like to learn, you'd like to share with us. I'm here to help, and I think the rest of the group is here to help as well. So let's get some shit done and have an awesome weekend. Bye, guys.